Hey guys, my name's Dave and welcome to another Guitar Zero to Hero song tutorial. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to play Holiday by Green Day, which is a really fun song. Now, if you want to master your chords back to front, then be sure to head over to guitarzerotohero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. Or if you really want to improve on your guitar, then sign up to GZ2H Premium, which is my complete step-by-step guitar course. So let's jump into the lesson. So let's start with the intro, which has 3 lines of tabs. So for our first chord shape, it's based roughly around an F minor. So index finger on the 8th fret of the 5th string and pinky finger on the 9th fret of the 2nd string. Now, you're gonna only need to push down those 2 notes and everything else should be muted. So the other notes will be muted by your index finger just lightly resting on top of the other strings, but you'll only push down that 5th string. So when you strum, only those 2 notes will ring out. Now we're going to strum this with a down, down, up. But the up strum can just be muted as you move down to your next shape. So down, down, up. And then we're going to go down and slide these fingers down to the 6th and 4th frets. So keep your pinky and index finger on the exact same strings. Just go down to 6th and 4th. And again, we're doing the exact same thing where we're muting all the other strings, only letting those 2 notes ring out. And the same strumming pattern as well. Down, down, up. So the first bar. And then we're going to take this exact same shape up to the 11th and 13th fret with the same strumming pattern. And then we take this shape down to 8th and 6th. And we're gonna strum this with a down, down. So those are the first 2 bars, which sound like this. The 3rd and 4th are identical, except when we get to this 6th and 8th shape, we're just going to strum it and hold it out. For the second line of tab, it's identical to the first 2 bars of the first line of tab, so nothing new to learn there. And then when we get to our 3rd line of tab, we're going to start using power chords. So we're going to start with an 8th and 10th fret power chord on the 5th string, and we're doing the same strumming pattern as well. So it's down, down, up, but the up strum is a mute as you move to your next chord shape, which is 4th and 6th. We're going to strum that with the same strumming pattern. Down, down, up. Move our power chord up 1 string. Down, down, up. And then go to the 6th and 8th power chord on the 5th string. Down, down, up. So the last chord is the one that has the down, down. Everything else is down, down, up. And in total for the first 2 bars of the 3rd line of tab. And you just repeat that again for the 3rd and 4th bars. So in total, the intro sounds like this. Next we move on to the verse, and it's very similar to that 3rd line of tab that we had with the few minor variations. So we're going to start with this F power chord here, and then C sharp power chord, G sharp power chord, and then D sharp power chord. So our first 2 bars we've already learned. Now the 3rd and 4th bars are almost identical, except instead of going to this D sharp power chord, we go to a C power chord here. So 3rd and 5th frets. So the 3rd and 4th bars. For the 2nd line of tab, the 1st and 2nd bars are identical to the 1st line of tab. But then for the 3rd and 4th bar, we just go to this C power chord and we strum it with a down, 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 down. So the 1st and 2nd line of tab all together sound like this. Now the third and fourth line of tab for the verse is almost identical. The only thing that differs is the very final bar. So instead of doing a down, 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 we're just playing a down, down, up, down. And then we're just gonna go up here, hit any fret and just slide down. So down, 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 down. But everything else is identical to the first and second line of tab for the verse. Next we get to the chorus, which is just all power chords as well. So we're going to start with an F power chord down here. We're going to strum it with that down, 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 down. And then go to our C sharp power chord on the 4th and 6th frets with the same strumming pattern. Then to the G sharp for the same strumming pattern, and then to the D sharp for the same strumming pattern. The second line of tab is almost identical except for the final bar. We go to the C power chord and we're just playing that with a constant down, 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 and then end with one more down strum on the final bar. Now this song does have a bit of a triplet feel to it, so that's where the down strums are often longer than the up strums. So down, 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 down. That sort of thing. So in total, the chorus sounds like this. Then we have the break after the first chorus, and it's just the same as the second line of tab for the intro. So. Then we get to the verse 2 and chorus 2, which is the same as verse 1 and chorus 1. Then we get into the interlude section. So we're going to start this with the F power chord with a down, down, up. So that up strum is a mute. And then we go up to the G sharp and do the same thing. So the first bar. And then for our next bar, we're going to play 4 power chords. So the C sharp, then the A sharp on the 6th and 8th frets here, root note on the 6th string. Then move that shape 1 string down. And then we're going to a C power chord up here on the 6th string. So. And the first 2 bars. The third bar is identical to the first bar. And then the 4th bar, we go D sharp power chord, the C power chord here, and then the F power chord up here. And then we're going to end by just hitting any notes up here and sliding down. So that first line of tab, which is exactly the same as the second line of tab, sounds like this. Now let's get to the solo section, and there's 3 lines of tab here for the rhythm. We're going to start with the C sharp power chord and strum with a down, down, up, down, down. And then the G sharp for 1 strumming pattern. And then the C power chord here. And then we go up to the F here with a down, down, up. And then go down 2 frets with a down, down. So the first line of tab. For the second line of tab, it's almost identical, except for the final bar, we stay on this C. For the third line of tab, we're staying on the C again for another strumming pattern. For the final strumming pattern though, it's a bit quicker. It's down, 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 up, down. And in total, the solo rhythm sounds like this. I'm I'm going to continue on with the rhythm. If you want to learn the lead part for the solo section, that's later on in this video. The timestamp is in the description below. So moving on, we get to the bridge where Billy Joe is just doing the talking, and there's no guitar here really, it's all just bass. But where the guitar does kick in, we're going to start with that slide. So anywhere up here, just hit a note on the lower strings and slide down. And then we're going to go to the 6th and 8th fret, so it's D sharp, then to 8th and 10th, so C power chord here, and then an F power chord, and then another slide. And then we go to the C power chord here, hold that out for 2 bars. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we do another up, down, hold that out for the next bar, and then we play down, down, up, down, down, up, down. And that's it for the bridge section. Finally, we get to the outro, which is 2 lines of tab. And it's very similar to the verse. So we start with an F with a down, down, up, then C sharp, then G sharp, and then D sharp. But one thing to add is that for this F power chord, we can take our middle finger and put on the 9th fret of the 2nd string. So it sounds like this. We're going to repeat those 2 bars through 3 times. And then for the 4th time, we play the first bar. And then we go D sharp, C, F, and then the low F. So the last 2 bars. And then total for the outro. Finally, I'm going to teach you how to play the solo. So to start, we're going to slide our index finger up to the 6th fret of the 2nd string. And then you're going to pluck that another 2 times. And then we go up to 8th, 9th, 8th fret of the 3rd string, 6th fret of the 3rd, and then 5th fret. And then we pluck it with another up, down. So the first 2 bars. And then we're going to slide up to the 8th fret of the 2nd string, then 5th, and then 5th fret of the 3rd string. So, and then we're going to go up to the 6th fret of the 2nd string with our index finger, and then 8th fret of the 1st string, and then back to the 6th twice, and then 8th fret of the 1st, and back to the 6th. So. In the first line of tab. We start the second line of tab off very similar, the first 2 bars anyway. Then we slide up to the 8th fret of the 2nd string. You pluck it again, and then another 2 times, and then one more final time. So, and then we slide up to the 8th fret of the 1st string with 3 plucks, and then we slide up to the 12th fret with a down, 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 up, down. The next bar we just do 4 plucks on this 12th fret again, and then we end on the 13th fret. That's the end of the solo. So the solo in total. And those are all the parts you need to learn for this song. So now I'll be playing through the song in its entirety, and I'll have a vocal track on top for some context. A big thanks to my friend and artist by the name of Tugler for lending his awesome vocals to this playthrough. If you want to check out his YouTube channel, there's a link in the description below. Feel free to play this back as many times as you'd like to practice playing along to, and see how you go. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to head over to guitar0tohero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. Or if you want to improve on a guitar, then sign up to Guitar0toHero Premium, which is my complete step-by-step guitar course. It'd mean the world if you could hit that like button, hit subscribe, click the little notification bell as well so that you don't miss out my updates. Please leave your thoughts, comments, questions, and requests down below, and I'll see you guys next time on Guitar0toHero. Cheers.